Right in the middle of Eurasia, bordering Russia and China, sits a landmass loaded with natural resources. It is a dominant player in global energy markets, yet rarely makes the front page of Western news. This map overlay shows exactly how large Kazakhstan is. At 2.7 million square kilometers, it is the 9th largest country in the world. You could take the entire footprint of Western Europe and fit it neatly inside its borders. But it is far from a uniform expanse of empty terrain. The country's geology is highly diverse, dropping into deep canyons with steep orange cliffs like the Charin Canyon and rising up to the snow-capped Altai Mountains. The defining feature, however, is the Kazakh steppe. Covering 1/3 of the nation, it is the world's largest dry steppe region, a vast arid grassland that dictates both the extreme climate and the historical way of life here. Surviving in this endless, harsh environment required immense physical resilience. For centuries, nomadic communities learned to navigate the surface, entirely unaware that the ground beneath them held massive reserves of oil, gas, and heavy metals that would eventually attract the attention of the world's major powers. The original inhabitants of the Kipchak steppe were pastoral nomads. Around 5,000 years ago, people in this region became the first to domesticate the horse, creating a mobile society that thrived on animal husbandry and seasonal migration. That mobility was violently suppressed under the Russian Empire and the subsequent Soviet Union. The Soviet policy of forced agricultural collectivization in the 1920s and 30s decimated the nomadic herdsmen. In a little over a decade, a combination of starvation and violence erased roughly 1.5 million people, nearly a fifth of the Kazakh population. Moscow further exploited the region's vast emptiness by turning it into a proving ground. Over 4 decades, the Soviet military conducted hundreds of nuclear tests in northeastern Kazakhstan, leaving behind radioactive craters and buried concrete bunkers. Yet this same remote geography also hosted significant technological triumphs. The Baikonur Cosmodrome, located in the southern desert, served as the primary launchpad for the entire Soviet space program. As the Soviet Union fractured in 1991, the people of Kazakhstan demanded total sovereignty. They were the final Soviet republic to declare independence, stepping out from under Moscow's control in December of that year. Experiencing centuries of imperial conquest, enduring devastating famines, and atomic detonations forged an incredibly tough populace. When they finally achieved statehood, they had the resilience needed to build a modern nation from the ground up. Following independence, President Nursultan Nazarbayev took direct control of the centralized economy. He brought in foreign development experts and began aggressively extracting the country's subterranean resources to build national wealth. This chart illustrates exactly where Kazakhstan stands globally. With billions of barrels in the Caspian Basin, it holds the 11th largest proven oil reserves on Earth, and it sits on the world's 2nd largest supply of uranium, turning it into a global energy heavyweight almost overnight. To project this new wealth and solidify government control over the vast northern territories, the administration made a highly strategic move in 1997. They relocated the national capital from Almaty, near the southern border, over 1,000 kilometers north. Flush with oil money, they built Astana. The city rises out of the flat steppe with a futuristic sci-fi aesthetic, defined by towering glass skyscrapers, massive monuments, and striking blue-domed government buildings. By converting raw fossil fuels into heavy capital investment and modern infrastructure, Kazakhstan successfully separated itself from its Soviet past and cemented its status as the undisputed economic powerhouse of Central Asia. But you do not have to travel far from the gleaming high-rises to find the country's roots. The cultural identity of the Kazakh people is still firmly tied to the open land. You can see it in the yurt. Made of a collapsible wooden frame and covered in animal hides or felt, this traditional dwelling was highly mobile and heavily insulated, a brilliant piece of engineering perfectly adapted to the bitter winters and scorching summers of the steppe. You also see it in the ancient practice of eagle hunting. Originally developed as a necessary survival method to catch foxes and small prey during the harsh winter months, hunting with golden eagles remains a highly respected tradition and a symbol of national pride. Today, that deeply ingrained affinity for the outdoors translates into a thriving culture of extreme sports. The rugged Tian Shan Mountains now draw thousands of locals and tourists for high-altitude trekking, mountaineering, and skiing. Modern Kazakhstan does not try to erase its nomadic origins to appear modern. Instead, it maintains a deep reverence for its equestrian and survivalist history, while simultaneously deploying cutting-edge technology and architecture. Geopolitically, the country finds itself in a highly sensitive location, wedged between Russia to the north and China to the east. To maintain independence, the government employs a multi-vector foreign policy, carefully balancing diplomatic and trade relationships with both of its giant neighbors, as well as the United States and Europe. This map shows Kazakhstan serving as the primary overland hub, connecting China's manufacturing output to Europe. It's also a critical bottleneck for energy security. A network of pipelines supplies grids across the continent, while high-speed rail and fiber-optic cables trace ancient Silk Road paths. Looking forward, the government is preparing for the global pivot away from fossil fuels. They are rapidly developing their extraction capabilities for rare earth metals and minerals, strictly required for electric vehicle batteries, advanced solar energy panels, and modern wind turbines. For many centuries, imperial powers viewed this land simply as a massive empty space to conquer or cross. Today, by leveraging its deep natural wealth and strategic geography, Kazakhstan has established itself as the